Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another first impressions video, this time on a completely different shoe to what we've reviewed in the past, and a new manufacturer as well. So thank you so much to Inov-8 and especially Lee Proctor for sending these out. We've got a couple of pairs of running socks. I think runners must be the only people in the world who are happy to receive socks as a present. And we've got the Elite headband. This will come in really handy for the Winterfell series, which is what these shoes are actually for. It's the Inov-8 X-Talon G210 version 2, and other than just being a mouthful, comes in this one yellow colourway, and we're going to get these puppies out onto the North York moors and one of the biggest climbs in North Yorkshire in just a second for some 15-minute hill reps. But before we do that, let's discuss Spec. The G210 is a minimalist, stripped back, lightweight felt racing shoe with 9mm in the heel, 6mm in the forefoot for a 3mm drop. They've got 8mm lugs on the bottom made of graphene, so these are great on muddy, slippery surfaces, fell racing, OCR, mountain running. And while Inov-8's website says they're a 2 out of 5 on rock, I believe that's because of the lack of cushioning underneath and the lack of a rock plate. I believe the grip should be perfectly fine. It's a 2 on the fit scale, 1 being most narrow, 5 being widest. And while that is quite narrow, and it does look it when you look at the shoe, this Cordura upper seems to mould and flex with your feet. I've tried these on in a shop before, and while I could feel it on my pinky toe and my big toe, I felt like the material seemed to mould over the edges. So that's why I'm going to try these out, and I'm going to do that specifically in shorter fell races and sessions like the one today. There's little in the way of overlays, and what there is really flexible, malleable and quite soft. So like I say, it's not very abrasive on the sides. Other Inov-8 shoes do have harder material around those areas, which can rub and cause issues over longer distances, but that's because the wider shoes are better fitting. The overlays they have near the laces should pull all the upper together for a nice snug fit, and it's actually quite well padded in the tongue as well. So in terms of comfort, I think we might get away with this one. It's really breathable material, and from what I've been told by other people, it does let water in, but it also lets it out super quick, and it doesn't absorb it into this Cordura upper, which is meant to be much more durable than version 1. As mentioned, these are light, fast, very responsive, and go down exceptionally well with some of the fastest fell runners in the country. So let's get out to the North York moors and see what I think. Welcome to the village of Chopiat, guys. Just finishing up a quick warm-up. This is the home of the start of the Wainstones Marathon. It's also the end of the Billsdale Fell Race, which is a qualifier for the Yorkshire Three Peaks. That's what we're training for, hence why we're doing 3 15-minute hill reps. Big climbs in that race. Only got a week to go now, so this is my final tune-up session before the big day. We've had a little bit of rain recently, so it should be perfect conditions for the Inov-8 X-Talon G210 version 2. And I'll be interested to see how my feet get on with the slipper-like fit. Just during the 10-minute warm-up, I can already tell that the ground feel is superb, as is the responsiveness. But it's certainly going to be a bit of hammer on my calves. We're going to start from this little stile over here, about 15 minutes a piece. It should be constantly uphill, quite slippy, very steep in parts, and I am racing the clock. We've got about an hour max to get this done before it starts getting dark. Okay, first rep and go. Right, that's the first lap done. It's actually 14 minutes to the top, so much quicker than I thought it was going to be, which is a good thing. It means I'm faster than I thought it was going to be. As you can see, I was purposely picking out the puddles and mud on that ascent just to see how the Inov-8 G210 would drain after getting wet. Very impressed. Literally only took a couple of minutes and my feet are bone dry again. That is actually probably the best draining shoe I've tried so far. Right, let's get down to the bottom of this hill and do it all over again.
Do you want to dance?
Okay, we're back at the start, guys. You know what that means. Got to turn around and do it all again. Rep number 2, here we go. Can't see a thing because the sun's setting. Good job we got some good grip. Right guys, we're descending to the final rep now. As you can see, the sun's setting behind me. It's gorgeous out here. No one's on the moors, I've got it to myself. And just a quick word on what I'm looking for with these Inov-8 G210s. Basically, really good grip on the downs. I want security, feel like my foot is not going to slip. On the ups, I want it to bite into the mountains. And I also want it to drain, which we've already spoken about, is a bonus. But also, somewhat lightweight, something that I can skip around in on race day. And just generally, confidence, that's the word I think I'm looking for. There we go, guys. Final rep. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello. Everyone talks to sheep when they're out running, don't they? Just me?
Oh, say, can you see?
God, this style.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting
There we go, guys, job done. 8.6 miles out on the moors, 2,500 foot of vert. Really happy with that going into the Yorkshire Three Peaks fell race. But what do we think to the Inov-8 X-Talon G210? It's an interesting shoe, guys. For me, this definitely should be used on fell courses in probably autumn and winter with a little bit of mud, and when you want some bite and grip. Definitely one for where you want security on the descents, or you want to dig into the mountain as you're climbing on the ups. If you're wanting something for a longer course where you've got a bit more cushion and a bit more protection, I wouldn't really go for it. However, I will say, very surprised by how comfortable these shoes are. With that stack height being so small, only 9mm and 6mm in the forefoot, I really did think I'd be feeling every rock under my foot. Not the case at all. The fit was perfect as well. I have a wider, kind of medium to wider foot. As predicted, the Cordura upper wrapped around my foot, so that 2 on the fit scale was not an issue for me at all. Real surprise there. Sticking with comfort, the lacing system is really good. I did feel it slacken off very slightly towards the end of the run. In all honesty, it's my first time in the shoe. I probably need to get used to how to tighten up the laces and cinch them in properly. I felt the laces a little bit on the bridge of my foot, but I've been going for an hour and a half on a really technical course where my foot is really digging into the descent. You saw how steep some of it was, so that was bound to happen. I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. Absolutely no hot spots. That was another big surprise to me with how narrow the shoe is. I thought I'd maybe feel it around my pinky toe. Not whatsoever. This material's so soft, it really is good, and the little bumper on the front does a good job with some of those loose rocks I ended up hitting. Drains really well, like I mentioned on the course. Within seconds of letting water in, it was back out of the shoe. And going back onto the grip very quickly, you'll notice it's almost got like a metatarsal type shape to the grip. I felt like that was working really well on the descents. When I was turning, twisting my foot, sometimes I run a little bit like a duck, as you may have seen, but I had no issues. And I also didn't feel like it was trying to force me onto my forefoot either. Sometimes that can be the case with a lower drop shoe. I just felt like I could run naturally in the shoe whether I was going up or downhill. I think the 8mm lugs do a fantastic job in mud, and the graphene does a really good job on the rocky stuff as well. The only time I felt my foot slipping was on the real slimy deep mud when I was going uphill, but never downhill, which I thought was quite interesting. I don't know if that's something to do with the grip pattern, but either way, really impressive. So that's my first impressions of the Inov-8 X-Talon G210 version 2. But the real test is going to come in those fell races. Yep, I think I'm going to be using this one, guys, in the Winter Fell series. So subscribe to the channel, that way you get to see how I get on in those races and how this little beauty performs. And of course, once we've done some more mileage, I'll get you my full review. I don't want to talk too much about durability. I think that would be unfair on you guys because there's no way I can tell you how long I think this is going to last. I think the grip will last a very long time as long as you're not using it loads on road, but I can't say much for the upper. As you can tell, the night's drawing in, so I'm going to get home and go and get some food. I'm starving. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up, and like I say, would love to have you along for my journey, so subscribe if you're interested. Catch you all later, guys.